What if the scariest place imaginable wasn't a haunted house or a forest or some dark, abandoned, spooky building, but maybe a perfectly ordinary underground corridor? The white tiles, the bright lights, posters on the wall, a man walking past you, nothing obviously threatening, nothing jumping out, just the same passageway again and again and again. That is the idea behind Exit 8. It is a psychological horror based on a hugely popular video game that came out in 2023. An adaptation that sounds rather silly when you kind of think about the premise, but it really does work particularly well. The setup follows a man trapped on a looping subway corridor, trying to reach Exit 8. The space looks completely normal, and that's what makes it deeply unsettling, because it's not gothic, because it's not dark, because it's not full of creepy old doors or that kind of horror nonsense. It's clean, it's modern, it's functional and anonymous. It's the kind of place you'd walk through every day without really taking much notice. And that's the idea behind this. It's the entire point. Every loop becomes a test. We watch the characters as they start to study the posters, the walls, the ceilings, the lighting, the man that continues to walk by, and it makes the audience feel part of that process. You find yourself looking for the strange anomalies, things that are different this time around. And that's where the tension comes from, not from the constant jump scares or big horror moments, but from that horrible feeling that something has changed that you might have missed. But it's more than just, say, spot the difference. It's different to that. It could have been that, but it does something a little bit different. It becomes more about awareness, about routine, about moving through life on autopilot, about the things we ignore or that we're too distracted to actually notice. And I like that, because if it had only been the kind of mechanical version of the game, I think it would have run out of steam really quickly. They add an emotional layer that gives the film something to hold on to other than just the gimmick. And that being said, it is a very minimalist film. I loved it, but I could see it dividing people. The film is repetitive, particularly on the locations. That's the point. You're watching the same space over and over, waiting for something to change, but struggling to notice that change itself. And it's not an out and out horror. It's more of that disturbing terror aspect, and that's where I kind of liked it. The film trains you to watch the settings, to wait for the things that shouldn't be there. A poster can be threatening, the sound can be threatening, a man's walk or look can be unsettling. A deeply horrific smile is just something that's uncanny in this. The film isn't perfect though. It does rely heavily on that concept, and the pacing will depend heavily on how much you can deal with the repetition within the film itself. There are moments where you feel that the film is really stretching that concept to almost breaking point, and it's that kind of anxiety that kind of made me almost pull out of the film every now and again. For me, Exit 8 was more a kind of psychological horror than a full-on terror scare. It's not trying to beat you down with monsters and gore. It's more controlled than that. It's more about repetition, failure, observation, and the fear that your own senses might not be enough. And I really responded to that. It won't work for everyone. I think some people will want more from it, but I admired how focused it was, and I really enjoyed it. Now, I enjoyed it not because it's huge or terrifying in a traditional way, but because it takes a very simple idea, commits to it, and it creates something that's genuinely unique. There's a couple of extras on the disc, so let's dive in and have a look. Here we are in the disc for Exit 8. Let's go to the special features. We have a behind the scenes of Exit 8, which runs for 59 minutes 14 seconds, and this is kind of on the set talking to the actors and various other people about the film. Next we have On the Carpet at the Cannes Film Festival, which runs for 5 minutes 15 seconds. Quick kind of talking heads and just them getting a round of applause at the end of the film. We have On the Carpet at Busan Film Festival footage, which is 11 minutes 56 seconds, and it seems like he's giving an interview after the film's been shown and answering some of the questions. Then we have the UK trailer and the Japanese trailer. Also included in this set is a poster and some art cards as well. That's the extras for Exit 8. So you have it. Exit 8 really worked for me, kept me captivated. I was wondering where it was going to go next, and it just kept me on the edge of my seat. It wasn't particularly scary, but it's more about the mood and the atmosphere, and I did find it really entertaining. I'd love to know if you've played the original game, if you've checked out the film. Is it something you're going to check out? Let me know in the comment box below. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.